motherfucking deal, YouTube. This your boy, Coach Dante, in the building with you guys, man. Please comment, like, and subscribe on the video, man. I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, man. Thank you guys for always being a part of the live streams, always showing some love, man. Don't forget tonight, we got the Milwaukee Bucks and we got the Boston Celtics game 4. Milwaukee leading this series 2-1, and I can't wait to do the game for y'all. And then we also on the Spotlight Sports Network got my boy Jeremy doing the Warriors in Memphis series. The Warriors up 2-1 on that one, but this is not about them. This is about the two-time MVP. Nikola Jokic just was named the MVP this morning. Pretty much, he was just named the MVP. Everybody thought, Joel Embiid should got it. I thought Joel Embiid should have got the MVP. He was my MVP of the year. But it went to Nikola Jokic for the second straight year. And then, like I say again, congratulations to Nikola Jokic. I see why they give him the MVP again. Joel Embiid did carry the team. Through thick and thin. When they were down 0-2 in the series versus Miami Heat, the impact Joel Embiid on the floor got them down 2-2. We got to realize, guys, the MVP is a regular season award. It's not a playoff award. It doesn't go towards in the playoffs. It doesn't go towards and carry all the way through in the playoffs. It is a regular season award. MVP is the most outstanding player, is the best player. How he impacts a team, his team. Joel Embiid definitely impacts his team, and Nikola Jokic definitely impacts his team as well. You got to let's look at the teams. Let's look at their teams. Joel Embiid has James Harden, Tobias Harris on his team. Even though Joel Embiid's stats are still the same, but he can have an off night. And they still can very much win because you got James Harden, you got Maxey who's averaging 18, you got James Harden who can put 20 on the board, you got Tobias Harris, a borderline all-star on the team that can put up points. You look at Joel Embiid team, you got Joel Embiid, of course. He's the playmaker of the team. He's the rebounder. He's the facilitator of the team. If he has an off night, it's a possibility the team may not win. They got beat 4-1 against the Warriors, which they were double teaming him, making him work. But outside of Joel Embiid, who do you have on the Denver Nuggets? Outside of that, you don't have a Jamal Murray, who he played with, who was out for 2 years. You don't have you do not have a Michael Porter Jr. And if you had those two guys, I think that Warriors series turned out to be different. But I mean, like I said again, I think Joel Embiid was the MVP. He was my MVP, but I see why they gave it to Jokic. Again, 4-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA team. 2015, 2016 Rookie of the Year, 2020 MVP, and now 2021 MVP. This year, 74 games, 27 points per game, 13 rebounds, 8 assists per game, 81% from the free throw line, 33% from three. Pretty respectable from downtown. Joel, he's just, like I say again, he does this because he has to do this. He's the leader in assists. He's the first player to lead his team in assists, rebounds, and points. But if Jamal Murray does come back, Michael Porter Jr., his points are going to drop. Yes, his number's not going to be the same, but that's good for him because he don't have to do a lot. He will still average. He will still lead them in points. He will still lead them assists and rebounds. He will still lead them in those categories, though. He will still lead them in those categories. First year, 2015, 2016, 10 points per game for Nikola Jokic. That's when they traded Yusuf Nurkic. They decided who we're going to keep out of Yusuf Nurkic and Jokic. They made the better move. They kept Jokic, and Jokic turned out to be pretty solid. The very next year, 16.7 points per game for Nikola Jokic, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Very next year, the points went up, 18 points, 18.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Very next year, the points average went up too, 20 points, 20.1 points per game, 10 assists, 7 assists, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. The very next year, the points dropped in 2019, 2020 to 19 points, pretty much 20 points, 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Last year, this is last year, they made it to the second round, got swept by Phoenix. 26 points per game, 26.4 points per game, 10 rebounds, 8.3 assists. Now this year, his year was way better than last year. His year was way better than last year. 27 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists a ball game for Nikola Jokic. I mean, hey, those some pretty solid, great stats, man. You can't deny those stats. But again, Jokic is your 2021 MVP. I thought Joel Embiid should have got the MVP, but again, I see why they gave him the MVP because again, he did more with less. He did more with less talent on his team. Outside of Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. is been hurt all year. They can't stay on the floor. Again, very much again. Who does Nikola Jokic have outside of those? Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is not a good basketball player. He's a below average basketball player. Will Barton be hurt all the time. So outside of those guys, who do you have? Who do you have outside of those guys? I mean, when Jamal Murray do come back and Michael Porter Jr., yes, his points gonna drop, but again, he will still lead the team in assists and rebounds. And he will still average over 20 points per game. He doesn't have to do much. While Joel Embiid, yes, his numbers is still the same, but again, he has a Harden. He has a Tobias on his team. He has a Tobias on his team. And he has a Maxey who can give you 18 points per game. So again, comment, like, and subscribe. This is Coach Dante of the Spotlight Sports Network. Appreciate you guys for always supporting, showing love. I know a lot of people going to disagree with my statement, but again, I'm trying to bring the factual into this. Why they gave it to Jokic and why they looked at Jokic as the second MVP. Again, most people say Jokic is a stat filler. I disagree with that. I don't think he's a stat filler at all. I mean, he just mean a lot to his team. You take Jokic off the Denver Nuggets, the Nuggets not even a playoff squad. You take Joel Embiid off the Sixers, I think the Sixers still can be at least a play-in team in the Eastern Conference. You still can be a play-in team in the Eastern Conference because you got James Harden, because you have Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey, and like I say, you still have them. You still have them. You still have a borderline playoff team. Still have a borderline play-in playoff team, or not a 6 seed. So you take Jokic away and you put him on the 76ers. I believe they still show the same production. You put Joel Embiid on the Denver Nuggets. Joel Embiid, he's going to score. And without a Jamal Murray and without a Will Barton, I think the results are still the same against the Golden State Warriors. So, again, try to make this realistic. You know, like I say again, I see why Philly fans was frustrated. Like I say, I feel it. But I think Embiid should have been the MVP. I think he should have been the MVP. Like I said, I've been saying it all year, but I see why they gave it to Jokic. Jokic is a great player. Just because he got beat 4-1 doesn't mean, you know, they weren't going to give him an MVP. It's a regular season award. The votes come in soon as the regular season over. It doesn't carry on throughout the playoffs. It doesn't carry through the playoffs. But again, congratulations to Nikola Jokic. Again, he wants the MVP for the second straight year. I see why they gave it to him. And like I say, Joel Embiid is a great player, man. He's a great player. He's very impactful for the 76ers, man. So comment, like, and subscribe. This is Coach Dante of the Spotlight Sports Network. We'll see you guys in the live stream or in the next video. We out of here, Coach.